Now I got a new office chair. I have reached the peak of my adulthood. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about something a little bit different. We talked about readings and other kinds of content, but today I kind of wanted to start sort of a teacher vlog, if you want to call it that. And one of the things that I wanted to discuss in this teacher blog is something that I think lots of teachers, not just here but around the world, are dealing with right now. And it's not as easy as some people might think it is, because I have seen everything, I have heard everything. So today we're going to talk about being a teacher during the quarantine. And again, this is not just gonna be like a 25-minute video of me complaining about stuff. It's actually not, but it's interesting to see what we have gone through. Now, being a teacher during the quarantine has definitely been a challenge in the sense that it's something that I never actually expected. Because let's be honest, none of us truly imagined that this situation was gonna grow as much as it did. But it has become definitely interesting to see how everyone has responded differently. When we started in our school, basically we started only on a 15-day period in which we were going to go home, we were going to see what was going to happen, and then we were going to come back. And then all of a sudden, here we are 5 months later, going absolutely insane. But it's been really interesting to see that this situation has extended itself so much. And we have had to learn how to deal with different things, which is what people don't necessarily know or don't necessarily imagine when it comes to being a teacher. And people that are not teachers, I don't think can relate very well to that because, there's a lot to it. Part of being a teacher is not just dealing with the academic, right? You have to also deal with a lot of the emotions that the kids go through, whether it is happy emotions or sad emotions or desperate emotions or, them being typical teenagers going crazy. And in the quarantine, we have not been exempt of this. As a matter of fact, I think we have had to give even more support to the kids because let's be honest, who would want to be locked up in their house like 24/7? Pretty sure nobody. So definitely being a teacher during this quarantine has taught me that emotional health is so important, and particularly the students' emotional health and how we are for them there. And we have to be, because at the end of the day, we are a system of support, and that's what a lot of people don't really realize. Teachers are systems of support of the kids. A lot of the times kids are alone in their homes when their parents are working or they have other siblings that they need to share attention with or any kind of situation. Every single family is different. So as teachers, we become models of support. Basically, we're there to listen to their problems, try to give them advice as best as we can, and move along with it. And during this quarantine, that advice has become so important because they are locked up in a room, pretty much going crazy without being able to see their friends, and it's not easy. One of the things that has truly worked for me during this quarantine has been, in a sense, trying to talk a little bit more with my students, even creating spaces where they feel comfortable discussing certain things. And probably some of you are going to say that that's not true, but I try. But the important thing is that they need to learn, or they need to know in a way that it is important to also talk about different things. It's not just about whatever subject you have that week. You know what I mean? It's important to discuss other things, whether it is news in your country or whatever it is that you ate for breakfast the day before. The sky's the limit, truly. But that's one of the things that, at least for me, has worked a lot. One of the other things that I have noticed while being a teacher during the quarantine is how the workload has actually gone from this, which is already high enough for a teacher, to this. They're not even reaching in the video, but it's too high. A lot of people don't realize how much work do teachers actually have. I mean, it's not just the work that we do in the classroom. We have to take a lot of stuff home. And if you don't believe me, look at this. I have like a stack of this, and I have, I think, even more. I mean, because being a teacher during the quarantine is tough. It's really tough. So imagine what it's like to have that workload already big increased. It's incredibly difficult, and speaking to my colleagues, this is what we found out, how our workload has gotten so much worse. I mean, we've had to learn about new systems, we've had to learn about new ways to assign homework, projects, tests. It's all very new, and it was all very quick, so we haven't had a lot of time to adjust. And I know in a lot of cases, lots of my colleagues have struggled with this adjustment. One of the things that I always suggest to people, I mean, or one of the things that works for me at the very least, is trying to figure out ways to make it simpler. I mean, we've used so many platforms, and we've gone through so many things trying to figure out which one is the easiest one, but we need to try to find something that is user friendly. You know, it's not just what's going to work for me, but what's going to work for the kids, what's going to be easier. So that's one of the things that we've tried. But I mean, I definitely understand that the whole thing has been crazy. One of the things I would like to say is that I really have admiration for a lot of teachers that haven't had the resources available to do what others have done. One of the things I am feeling mostly lucky with is the fact that in my school they gave us the resources and they gave us the opportunity to develop our classes online, and they have been working pretty successfully. But that hasn't been the case for everyone. In our public school system, teachers have to work round the clock to make sure that their students get their copies, so that they can get their information summarized, so that they can get as much as they can, because they do not have access to these online platforms. It becomes a challenge. It becomes very difficult. So my biggest admiration goes to them, because I know that a lot of teachers here struggle a lot to make sure that their students get their content. And this is a message for everyone out there. Appreciate your teachers more. Teachers do a lot for the kids that we're not even meant to do. But we like to go above the line, at least the ones that have, you know, a calling for teaching, because I mean, there are people that may not. But for us that actually love being teachers, we go the extra mile and are willing to do so, because it is part of what we are and it's part of what we do. So appreciate them a lot more, because they're working their butts off to make sure that this whole thing stays afloat, and as much as we can. And if I could finish on another tip that I could give teachers, would be, you know, try to find moments to relax, even moments for yourself, because that's so difficult. I mean, we have work all the time, we have planning to do, we have grades to check, we have projects to review. It's a lot, but let's try to find the spaces for everyone. I, for one, love to, you know, just sit down sometimes and watch a good movie on Netflix, or even a show or whatever. Even movies that I have watched 125 times, I will watch them again. You know, I mean, that's what I do, but that's because I don't have a lot of social life. But try to find spaces for you, whether it is cooking, whether it is painting, whether it is, you know, coloring mandalas because you have nothing else to do. Try to find a space for you, because at the end of the day, if you don't, you're just gonna go even crazier. And we're already teachers. It's already crazy. Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. I truly wanted to sit down and discuss a couple of things. I mean, and I'm not getting everything off my chest. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. But I think it's important to be able to have a space where you can just let go of things and talk about certain things. And if anything of my experience can help other people, I think it's always for the best, you know? You never know. Once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember that if you like this kind of content, or if you have any suggestions, recommendations, requests of stories that we can talk about, you can leave them down in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe, of course, for more super awesome content. I really have nothing else to say. I'm out of inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, I will see you next time. Bye, everyone. This is really good. Yeah, teachers get fat too.